Welcome back to another boot camp episode. I'm actually a little bit tired because I'm recording this after my shift. As you can see, I literally just got home and I'm wearing my dress shirt still. But this is a very important video. I've been upping the pace, upping the tempo, and here it is, guys. This is one of the things that really help you transform into an advanced trader. You guys watch the two time-based videos I already released, and they are bangers. So if you haven't seen them yet, I recommend going through them and writing notes. Now, if you understand what I post already, you're going to understand this. If you haven't, I recommend watching those videos first so you understand this. This is a very complex video, but I will simplify it so intermediate and beginner traders can kind of understand it. But this is the key to trading. This is the edge that you've been looking for. And I used it today in this setup and caught literally the high to the low, like literally to the low. You can see that the next candle delivered us higher. I closed my take profit at the last candle of this delivery. And the precision comes from knowing how and when to identify manipulation. This video is going to be on manipulation, and it is the most important thing to learn how to identify if you want to be profitable. Now, if you look in this day, you can see consolidation, manipulation, distribution. So I actually caught the manipulation of the day. But how did I do that? Because you always say, Ben, you need to find the manipulation to catch the distribution. Yes, but it depends on what you're targeting, because this manipulation move had manipulation to do this. Every single move in the markets needs manipulation. The manipulation, it's going to be a tongue twister. It's going to be kind of hard to understand this, so I'm going to say it slowly. The manipulation needs manipulation, and that manipulation needs manipulation. And it keeps factoring down time frames until the 0.1 second chart, right? Like, the algorithm runs off of manipulation. You can't move lower if you don't fake out buyers, vice versa. So the fact that we needed to manipulate lower to then move up higher, we needed to manipulate higher to then move down lower. The chart is basically a consolidating chart in an uptrend. That is what the NASDAQ is. Now, there's some, one man's out where it goes down and we have a recession, but it tends to just be up, down, up, down, up, down in an uptrend. If you go to the monthly chart, you can kind of see what I'm talking about here, right? You have the one ways, but it's usually manipulation while in an uptrend. So if you're trading the 1 minute, you need to identify manipulation for what move you're trying to catch. And I talked about my previous videos, the 930 manipulation. 930 always has manipulation. So why not trade 950 to 1010 macro using the 930 logic? Because there's going to be manipulation at that time. If you look closer, you can see 930 wicked us above this high. And then I also teach about the 930 to 945 opening range window that is also manipulation. So not just 930, but 930 to 945 will manipulate. And you can see that 930 broke buy side liquidity. We then traded down lower, breaking some lows, right? So it's a little bit of a chop. And then we traded back up higher, breaking that 930 high again. And we're still in that manipulation window. Yes, we took lows. But looking in this window from 930 to 945, what is dominant here? What bias is dominant? Is it bearish or bullish? Bullish. There's more bullishness than bearishness in this window. So what do I look for here? I know that we had bullish manipulation. So I'm anticipating that we're going to break structure and turn down to the downside. Just like in my previous videos, I talk about waiting for that break of structure and that kind of disrespect of a bullish PD array if you're looking for shorts. I did that here. You can see this low here that we displaced below. Boom. And then right away, we trade into the fair value gap. And remember, inversion fair value gaps only work properly if they take a form of liquidity. Look at what it did here at the 930 high. So we took that form of liquidity. It trades down lower, trades into it. Look at the body, respect consequent encroachment. See that? Look at what I did here. I waited for the body to respect consequent encroachment before I got into my position. See where that arrow is? I waited for price action to confirm my entry on this inversion fair value gap. I did not take the entry as soon as it traded into it. Now, you can see that price traded into it and then traded away. And yes, 10 a.m., this was PMI, so it was a little bit choppy. And a lot of people actually did this trade on stream in my Discord, and a lot of people caught this, but they were like, oh, you're holding over PMI? Are you crazy? And it's like, guys, listen, I know what I'm doing here, okay? You don't hold over the top 3 news events, if that's FOMC, CPI, and NFP. This is fine. And I knew it was fine because I knew our narrative is to go take Asian lows. Now, how did I not fall for this entry? Because I talk about consequent encroachment being respected at 950, and look at what time we traded into, exactly at 950. And a lot of people that don't really understand my concepts that well took this trade. Now, again, this is why narrative is more important than the macro itself. It's not just the macros that help make traders win, because what we didn't manipulate lower. It's the manipulation that you need for the macro trade to work. And people in my stream said, hey, take this, take this, take this. I was like, guys, no, there's no 930 manipulation. I know it's fake, and I know it's going to be a break of structure. So I traded into it, started trading up higher. It tempted me a little bit. I'm not going to lie, because everyone's flawed. But then I was like, guys, listen, it's just going to disrespect it. And what did it do? It disrespected it. And the second it disrespected it, that gave me the confirmation that this high is staying there until we take Asian lows down here. And then I took the trade, and I closed it half of the positions off here at these triple equal lows. And then I closed the last position here at the Asian lows. Now remember, it's time and then price. So why is this video titled manipulation? Because every move has manipulation. The move of the day is bullishly, right? This was the move of the day. This was the manipulation. So if you use this as the manipulation, you could have caught this and traded it all up to here, to these highs, and catch this move, right? Or even up to these highs. But it's all based off manipulation. These traders would not take this long if they didn't believe that this was a fake move. I wouldn't have taken this short if I didn't believe that this was a fake move. You can't get faked out on every form of manipulation. And that's why FOMO is one of the leading causes to people blowing their accounts, is because they have a fear of missing out when the manipulation happens. When speed comes into the markets, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm missing something. I see a setup, like it's respecting a fair value gap. I got to get in it. Price will trade up and then boom, trade lower and take your stop loss. You need to know what you are looking for. And to do that, you need to have manipulation. You need to have that bias, that saying in your head that, you know what, this is manipulation. I know this is manipulation. So I'm going to ignore every setup that forms. And if I'm wrong, guess what? Guess what? You don't get a setup. Isn't that better than losing? Isn't that better than losing? If you're wrong, you don't get a setup, guys. And as much as I can tell you this now, it's going to come down to the point where you're not going to listen to me until you get enough slaps in the face and blown accounts where you're going to try it out and figure out that this is the answer to trading. Is that every single trader tries to find the distribution, if that's on either side. Now, the distribution of the day was this, but this is the distribution of the AM, or I wouldn't say AM session, but this is the distribution of the 9:30 to 10:10 macro session. I call that a session in its own because it creates its own setups regardless of the bias. Now, I knew that Asian lows were going to get taken because we traded so much higher. We traded lower, failure swing. But higher time frame narrative aside, I knew that was going to happen because we took highs at 9:30. We also had the daily SIBI. And what is that on the higher time frame? Kind of try to get what I'm about to say here. When price trades into a fair value gap like this that isn't going to work, what does it need to do? Most of the time it's going to trade into it, then start trading and start respecting it to fake in buyers to then disrespect it. So what did price action do into the daily fair value gap? It traded into it. It started trading lower, faking people to get in short. So I knew when it traded up into here, I knew that even though I know it's not going to work, it's probably not going to work, it's going to trade a little bit lower to confirm people like, hey, this fair value gap, this daily SIBI is going to work. And I'm talking about this daily SIBI right over, oh my gosh, right? You can't, oh my gosh, so many executions right here, right? That's what I'm talking about. And just like how time is fractal and it does it on this, where it trades into it, then trades away, then below, it did the same thing for the other one. It traded into it, it traded away, and then disrespected it. Right? So there's fake out moves. The market is fake, it's rigged, and you need to know when it's trying to rig you so you have a bias. Okay? I caught 4RR here, and I could have caught this trade because I knew that this was manipulation, but I didn't. Why? One trade a day. and it's not during the macro. Cool. Guess what? I missed out on profits. I don't care. I got what I wanted out of the markets. My whole setup's shaking. I got what I wanted out of the markets. I'm happy with it. It was followed by my model. My model performed very well, and I got off of the markets. That's it. That's all you need is a set model that you know so well, that you follow, that when you see fake setups like this, you brush it off your shoulders like, that's fake. And even if it's not fake, you're like, I'll catch another move another day. You need to know what you're looking for. And today I proved it because I took this trade while at streaming at work. I was muted and I was typing. And people from my Discord, if you're watching this from my Discord, comment below. I was in the live stream. And you can see that I knew what I was looking for. And I can even do it while I was on a sales call because it's so easy to catch winning trades when you know what you're looking for in those trades. That's it. That's all you need, guys, is a macro time. You need a time-based logic. You need time-based logic. That's what it is. Write that down. Time-based logic. Manipulation happens at set times. There's your logic. Find manipulation, and to help you find manipulation, when does price get volatile at a specific time? If it gets volatile at 9:30, that's most likely manipulation. Look at this. Look how price action is not crazy volatile, but the second we go to break the high, we have a super strong candle. That is also the candle that's going to deliver us down lower. Isn't it convenient? Isn't it funny how when price does this, what does it trigger? When you're in the live markets and you see price start ripping up higher, what does that trigger? Emotion. Traders bought in here because they were scared that they're going to miss out on a move. And then when it disrespected it, they just got stopped out. So they're too scared to enter right back in. While I did, because I preserved my mental capital and I held the trade all the way to the exact low. Right there, guys. It's right there. The last candle in this move, I held it to. It's so easy to catch great trades when you know how to identify manipulation. And this whole move that I caught was distribution of this manipulation, but manipulation of this distribution. So study on the higher, and this is just the 1 minute. It repeats. It repeats. Consolidation, manipulation. Right? This is the day before. I caught the distribution this day because it was during the macro that I got the distribution of the day. I didn't ride it out all the way to these highs, but I rode it up to these highs, and you can see the proof is in the pudding right here. Consolidation, manipulation, distribution. Okay? I caught it by identifying that. Look at what time that was. 9:30 is manipulating. 9:50 forms the entry, and we move up higher. And this is the 5 minute, right? Same thing. It's same thing. Manipulation, distribution. This is manipulation to distribute all the way down here. It repeats both ways, and you don't need to find every move. You don't need to be right all the time. You just need to find when the manipulation ends. There's so many times price will manipulate, but when you find when it ends, you can find the right setups. I hope you guys found this video insightful like crazy. If you didn't, rewatch it because I dropped so many hidden gems in here, guys. It's so important to use time-based logic. Learn about it. I will teach more about it. I'm doing more streams in my Discord teaching about time-based logic. I'm going to be doing one tonight, actually. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I got a bunch of surprises. Also, if you made it to the end of this video, I have a massive announcement for you guys. I am partnering with a specific firm so I can get you guys 50% off. Hold on. Not funded account challenges. Funded accounts. Live funded accounts. You don't need to do a challenge. You're already past the account. If you sign up using my code, you are already past the challenge. You're in the live phase. And it's 50% off. So if you guys are here, I've officially partnered with a firm that I'll be announcing tomorrow morning. So stay tuned. And you passed the challenge already. So you're straight to funding. And usually the firms that do straight to funding have a bunch of dumb rules and they're like $800. Nope. Nope, regular prices. If actually, right now it's 50% off, so it's cheap prices and no stupid rules. It's straight to funding. So if you guys are interested in that, stay tuned in my Discord. If you don't have a subscription in my Discord and you're watching this, you can get a 3-day free trial. I'm announcing it tomorrow. I will also announce it on my social media, so stay tuned for that. And I'll see you guys in the next bootcamp video. I hope you guys have been finding these videos insightful. And until next time, peace.